Okay, good afternoon or good morning or good evening to wherever you are. It's from John McMullen. I've still had this. I'm recovering from this virus, so I wound up uh, going back to reading some old stuff from a book from 2008, 2010, and there were some quasi-religious poems here. God's musings. I threw Adam out of the garden. I turned women into pillars of salt. I flooded the earth. I gave them different ways to worship me so they would kill each other over the best way. I even named a group my chosen people so everyone would hate them. I had my messengers say, turn the other cheek so they could crucify him. I've set off volcanoes. I set up tsunamis in between famine and plagues. I've done every goddamn thing I could do to these insignificant bastards, but the fuckers wouldn't give up. And then I had, what will you choose? Now let's see now. God wants you to remain chaste, worship him regularly, particularly on a day off, often after a long night out. The devil advised you to fuck and such as often as possible, and to sleep in on Sundays, hopefully, with last night's partner. If you follow God's directive, you will go to heaven. If there is a heaven, if there is a God. If you follow the devil's, you'll take the downbound train. If there is a hell, if there is a devil, which would you choose? A bird in the hand, probably. Faith. It's easier to believe in a concerned God when motor scooting down to Taconic over the Croton Reservoir on a spring day at 60 with the wind in your face under a blue sky. I'm sure that God is in his heaven and I worship. Thank you. It's not as easy on a rainy day. And then we have one last, maybe two last if I have time. Let's get to the one on. Oh boy, there it is. Here it is. On my grandparents. Grandparents. My four grandparents came from Ireland, young and unmarried, to the United States. My mother's parents went to Charleston, Massachusetts, where they met, married, and had children. My father's parents did the same in New York. But I never knew three of them. Only my father's mother survived into my memory. I never really liked it. But what courage they must have had. Would I have been able to pick up, leave family and friends behind, and sail on a coffin ship across the ocean? I doubt it, but I certainly owe them. And then one more religious thing that was written about Easter one year. Yesterday was Ash Wednesday, so I went to church and got ashes and thought of the rhyme that wise-ass eighth grade books used to write in girls' autograph books. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, what's the sweat without a bust? And that ditty was all I thought about ashes for years, even last Wednesday. But 15 years ago, my closest friends, my brother and my in-laws started dying, letting me down. It's a definition of middle age that is when you realize that you will die and you will go to ashes. I don't like this topic. Thank you for putting up with me. And next week, I'll be back.